Good day, grade 10 learners. Welcome to our second live lesson. I am Sikolile Ncube. This lesson is proudly brought to you by the Gauteng Department of Education. Are you ready for the lesson, grade 10s? I really hope so. Make sure that you have your books there with you on your desk. You have your calculator, you have your pen, and you have everything that you need for the lesson. Okay, we're going to be enjoying this lesson. Okay, what are we learning about today, grade 10s? We're going to continue with factorization. Remember, in the previous lesson we did factorization, isn't it? We did the factorization using the highest common factor, and then we looked at the factorization of trinomials. Do you remember that? Right, today we're going to look at different type of factorization, which is the difference of two squares and the difference and sum of two cubes. Do you see the difference here? For squares, we only have difference of two squares. And then for cubes, we have both difference and sum. Okay? Right, so we're going to start our lesson now, grade 10s. What are you going to learn today, grade 10s? You are going to learn what? You are going to factorize algebraic expressions with focus on the following concepts, which is the difference of two squares and sum and difference of two cubes. Okay? Right, I really hope that you're going to learn today. Are you ready to learn, grade 10s? Right, let's start. Right, we did algebraic expressions in grade 8 and 9. We did what else did you do? Even factorization, we did that. So it's revision. Remember that it's revision. We did factorization in grade 8 and 9. We did what you call this? I said factorization and algebraic expressions. Okay, so we did these two. So we're going to apply our knowledge about that. Right, before we move any further, grade 10s, I want us to try these two sums. Question 1 and question 1 I know that this looks what? Difficult, isn't it? So I'm going to give you time to try. And then after 1 minute, I'm going to give you a clue, then you try again. Okay? Right, I want you to try first before I give you any clue. Just 1 minute. And then after 1 minute, I'll give you a clue, then you try. Let's start with question 1. Can you try? I'm going to give you 1 minute. After 1 minute, I'll tell you the clue, then you try again. I'll give you another minute after that. Let's try. Welcome back, grade 10s. Please, if you are still working on the sum, continue. I'm not disturbing you, okay? Right, but for those who want the clue now, you want me to give you a hint, listen, okay? But if you know what you're doing and you're still working on it, just continue with your work. Right, now, check for these things. What do you see if you look at these things? Just look at the first two here. What do you see there? I can see difference of two squares. Do you remember difference of two squares? Okay? Still, if you don't remember, it's fine. I'm going to remind you. Okay? But for those who understand, continue. Okay? And then if you look at these last two, what do you see there? I can see the highest common factor there between 6x and 3y, isn't it? Right. So I want you to try now for another minute. So this one here, there's a difference of two squares, and here we have two terms that have the highest common factor. So factorize the red part using the difference of two squares, and then the blue part using the highest common factor. But remember, it's not two different things. It's one thing. Okay? Right. I'm going to give you another minute to try. And then after 1 minute, we're doing everything. Let's try. Welcome back, grade 10s. Remember WhatsApp line 064-748-8913. Remember to send us your questions. We want to interact with you so that you can assist each other. Right, if you're still working on the sum, please continue. Okay, right, you're stuck, you want assistance, listen. Okay, right, now we say these two, there's difference of two squares here. Do you remember difference of two squares? Okay, 4 is a square number. Do you remember that? Okay, it's 2 squared. So which means we have 2x. Okay, 4x squared. It's just like 2x like this squared like that. Do you see that? Okay, so it's difference of two squares. And then we can have this part here. Remember difference of two squares? 2x plus y, 2x minus y. You're still confused? Don't stress. Because our lesson today is about difference of two squares and difference in sum of two cubes. So if you're still confused, don't stress. I'm using this because you did this in what? In grade 8 and 9. But if you're still confused, I'm going to assist you. Okay? Right, then the last part is 6x plus 3y. There's the highest common factor there, which is 3. You can factor out 3. Do you see what I've done here? Okay? Right, and then look at these two terms. This term and this term. Do we have something which is common there? Because grade 10s, we have to factorize fully. If we leave it like that, we have factorized partially. We have to factorize fully. Right, so now, if you check here, 2x plus y is a common bracket. This is a common bracket. So we can factor it out. And then we're going to get something like this. Do you remember how we factor out? Okay, let me show you. Right, we have 2x plus y. Then 2x minus y. Do you see that? Plus 3, 2x plus y. And then what do? We factor out our common bracket, which is 2x plus y. And then what we do after that? We divide this thing by 2x plus y. And then 2x plus y and 2x plus y, they're going to cancel each other out. You remain with 2x minus y. And then here we divide this by 2x plus y. Remember we were cancelling and cancelling. So 2x plus y will cancel, 2x plus y here, we remain with plus 3. Do you see that? That's how we get that answer there. Okay? Right, I really hope that you have revised something. Because remember last time we're doing this, something like this. So we are revisiting what we did in the previous lesson. Okay? Right, let's go to the second one. Now, this one, I'll give you a clue, then you try. Again, if you're a math learner, a mathematician, you should be able to recognize things. Otherwise, if you don't recognize things, you'll be doing wrong things, calculating the whole page, doing wrong things. Mathematics is very, very easy. Take your time and recognize what you're given. And then you work on things that you know. Now, here, if you check, let me remind you. Do you remember the square binomials? If you expand or find the product of a plus b squared, you get something like this. Do you remember that? Okay, so if you say a plus b times a plus b, what do you get? This is a plus b squared, remember. So it's a times a, which is a squared, a times b, which is plus ab, b times a, which is plus ab, then b times b, which is plus b squared. Do you see that? And then becomes a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. You see that? Okay? Right. Same thing here. If you expand this a minus b times a minus b, you will get this. You will get that. Now, if you check this part, it's just the same as this, but it's in terms of x and y. Please don't write a and b. It's in terms of x and y. So I've given you a clue. Using that, okay, moving from this to this, using that, it's in terms of x and y. Try to factorize this. And then after that, we go back and look at the difference of two squares. Can you try? Just for 2 minutes. Let's try. Welcome back, returns. Are you enjoying the lesson? Are you having problems? Please send us your input. Send us your questions. 064 748 8913. Even your work returns. We'll really appreciate that. Please send us your work. If you have done something, want us to see your work, do so. If you're having problems, we have a team this side that is waiting for your questions. Please send your questions. Okay, right, let's do this together. Right, so we say this reduces actually to what? X plus y squared. Do you see that? It reduces to x plus y squared like that. Now, what we have here, if you look at these two things, we have squares. This is a square because it's x plus y squared. And then this is a square number. It's a perfect square. Do you see that? So now we can go back to our difference of two squares. Today, I like difference of two squares. Do you see that? We're going back to the difference of two squares because these are the squares. And then remember, x squared minus y squared is equals to x plus y. You can even start with x minus y. There's no problem with that. And then x minus y. So this whole thing is just like the x. Then this 4, which is 2 squared, is just like the y squared. Okay, so we have this minus this, and then this plus this. Do you see that? Okay, difference of two squares. Okay, right, and then we get our answer. You can simplify your things like that. Now let's go to simpler things. I started with something which is a bit tough. Do you see that? But now don't worry, we're going back. Want to understand this thing, difference of two squares. Want to understand it? Okay, right, so we're going to be sort of investigating this. So I want you to do this thing with me. If I say, let's do this, let's do it, and then you discover this on your own, isn't it? You discover something, you'll never forget about it. You hear something, you remember maybe 5% of it or 10% of it. So make sure that you are part of this. If I say do this, be part of it. Okay? Right, now we have this. Is it true that this thing will give us x squared minus y squared? Is it true? No, so let's see. Now, I want you to find the product of these two. Expand these two binomials. Multiply them. Find the product. Remember, if I say expand, I mean find the product. Let's do that. What do we do? X times x is x squared, isn't it? Write it down. X squared. And then x times y, what is it? Plus xy. Write it down. So we have x squared plus xy. And then negative y times x, we have negative xy. You're writing it like a line, single line, isn't it? Don't write separately. It's one thing, one expression. So now we have x squared plus xy minus xy, isn't it? And then negative y times positive y is negative y squared. So you must have 4 terms in your expression now. X squared plus xy minus xy minus y squared. Okay? Do you have something like this? Do you have something like this? Yes, you must have something like this. What is this? X, y minus xy. 0. 0. Do you see that? And then it disappears because it's 0. What we remain with is x squared minus y squared. Do you see now we have what? We have difference of two squares. No middle term. Do you see that? So this is the difference of two squares. Therefore, we can conclude and say x squared minus y squared is equals to this. So this is factorization. This is finding the product, expanding. Remember last time I said factorization is the opposite of expanding. Okay? So when you're factorizing the difference of two squares, you're moving from this to this. If we are finding the product of the two binomials, like these ones, x minus y, x plus y, we are moving from this to this. So today, we are doing this. Factorizing. Difference of two squares. Okay? Can you write this one down? Write this down. We're going to be using it. Write it down. This is how we factorize what? Difference of two squares. We have seen it. We have investigated and discovered that it is like that. You see that? So now we're going to be applying that. Let's apply that. Okay. Factorize x squared minus 9. It's an example. Do you see? But remember, I always give you work to do. Try things. I know you are capable of doing. You can do it. Don't wait for me. Try x squared minus 9. If you can be ahead of me, please do so. Okay? X squared minus 9. Can you try to factorize that? Can I remind you? X squared minus y squared. Okay, if you look at x squared minus 9, can you have something like this? Where is x something squared minus something squared? Okay? Must give us x minus y, x plus y. Right. X plus y, x minus y. X minus y, x plus y is just one thing. A, 3 times 2, 2 times 3. It's just the same thing. Okay? Now, can you try? Try to be ahead of me. Right. So you can do these things separately if you want, but you can do it without even doing it by the side. But now, find the square root of x squared. What is the square root of x squared? Okay? What is the square root of x squared? Is x, isn't it? Right, remember square root, we have plus or minus. So in this case, we're just taking the positive square root, okay? So it's going to be x, okay? Because x squared, square root of x squared is x. And then, what's the square root of 3 cubed? 9, remember 9 is what? Is 3 squared, isn't it? What is the square root of 3 cubed? Take the positive one. I know the square root of 9 is plus or minus 3, isn't it? Right, but now take the positive one. So x cubed, the square root of 3, I said 3 cubed. Did I say 3 cubed? If I said that, then I was wrong. I said 3 squared. 3 squared. Please understand that. 3 squared, not cubed. I think I said cubed, okay? Which is very, very wrong. Right, so this is 3 squared, okay? The square root of 3 squared is what? Is 3. Is 3, okay? You see that? Now, we have found the square root of x squared, which is x. We have found the square root of 3 squared, which is 3. So these two terms will create our two brackets. X minus 3, x plus 3. Are we finding that? X minus 3, x plus 3. Because that's what we get if we do what factorize difference of two squares. So let's write our answer. Write it before I show you. Write the answer. From this step, write the answer. Let's factorize x squared minus 9. What do you get? X minus 3, x plus 3. Good. Very good. Now, let's move on. Are we able to try an activity now? I want you to try an activity. 3 sums. Then I will give you time to try everything. If you want to discuss, if you can discuss, remember social distancing, okay? Right. Discuss and try to come up with answers. I'm going to give you enough time. Okay? Right. Now let's try this. I'm going to give you 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. So 6 minutes altogether. And then after 6 minutes, we'll just go through these 3 sums together. 6 minutes. Enjoy the activity. Welcome back, grade 10s. I really hope you managed to do these three. Right, we got questions or input from the following schools. Bonejo Secondary Schools, thank you very much. Right, 1.2. Right, what I'm going to do at the end of the lesson, I'm going to re-explain 1.2. And then from Factorize also, you don't understand. Right, so what we are doing now in this activity, from activity 1 going further there, for these three, we are redoing what we call what? Difference of two squares. Please try to pay attention. So what we did then during the baseline activity is what I'm doing now. Okay? Right. I think after these three, we will be answered. Factorize, and then Bonejo Secondary School, at the end of our lesson, I'm going to revisit 1.2. Okay? Right. Let's continue. Right. 9x squared minus 9. 9x squared minus 1. Do we have difference of two squares here? Is 9x squared a square number or a square? Is 1 a square? Yes, these two are squares. So we have difference of two squares here. People tend to forget that 1 is a square number. Square numbers, we start from 1. 1, because 1 squared is 1. 2 squared is 4. 3 squared is 9. So remember that 1 is also a square number. So here we have difference of two squares. What is the square root of 9x squared? It is what? 3x. Do you see that? Why 3x? Because 9 itself is 3 squared. And then x squared is x squared. We are given that is x squared. So the square root of 9x squared is 3x. What is the square root of 1? It's 1. So now, what is going to be our answer here? Okay, we have the square root of 9x squared, which is 3x. We have the square root of 1, which is 1. So what is going to be our answer? The two brackets is going to be 3x minus 1, and then 3x plus 1. Good. So now, please mark that. So we have factorized the difference of two squares. Okay? Please mark that. If you want to do corrections, do the corrections. Okay? Right. And then we move on to the second one. Remember what I said in the previous lesson, grade 10s? What did I say? Factorization. First thing you do, look for the highest common factor. Do we have the highest common factor here? Yes, we have it. What is it? It is 2. So we factor out 2 using the highest common factor. We have this. Now concentrate on inside the bracket. What do we have inside the bracket there? We have x squared minus 4. Are these two numbers or two terms, are they squares? Yes, they are, because 4 is 2 squared. So now what's the square root of x squared? X. What is the square root of 4? 2. So what are we going to have in the brackets? The two brackets, x minus 2, x plus 2. But don't forget this 2, which is outside. You see that? So now we have our difference of two squares there factorized. Okay? Right. Mark your work there. And then the last one. It should be the easiest. It looks complicated. Looks complicated, but it should be the easiest. Because this is a square. This is a square. What is the square root of this? Square root of 2x plus y squared. It is equals to 2x plus y. What is the square root of y squared? It is y. So what are we going to have in the bracket? It's going to be 2x plus y minus y. And then 2x plus y plus y. You see that? X minus y, x plus y. Okay, right, so we have those two brackets like that, okay, which is 2x plus y minus y, and then 2x plus y plus y, difference of two squares. And then now we can simplify our things because these things are like terms. These are like terms. What is y minus y? 0. That's why we remain with 2x here. What is y plus y is 2y. That's why we have 2y here. But now in the bracket we've got something common, which is 2. We can still factor it out so that it joins that 2x. What is 2x times 2? It is 4x. Then you have your answer like this. Remember, we have to fully factorize. That is the difference of two squares. That is the difference of two squares. Please find more questions about this concept. It is used a lot in mathematics. You are going to find it even in other topics which are not algebra. You'll find this in trigonometry. Please make sure that you get more questions and you continue consulting. Remember our WhatsApp line 064 748 8913. Right. Now, let's move to something a bit different. But we talked about it. We said we're going to do it today, which is the sum of two cubes and the difference of two cubes. Listen, cretins. I'm going to give you a routine, like some steps that you have to follow to factorize these ones. Please, when I get to that part where I'm going to give you the steps, try to remember the steps. You follow the steps that I'm going to give you, you will never go wrong. It's not about thinking now when it comes to this, it's about remembering the steps that I'm going to give you. Are we together? Right, let's go to the difference and sum of two cubes. Again, I want us to expand, but I'm going to do it with you because of time. I was going to give you time to expand on your own, but because of time, let's do it together. Want to discover something, want to see something. At the end of this, we have to recognize something, isn't it? Okay, right, let's expand these cretins. X plus y, then times x squared minus xy plus y squared. Okay, right. As I said, you write it like one single expression. Okay, right. What is x times x squared? What is x times x squared? X squared. X cubed. Write it down. X cubed. What is x times negative xy? What is x times negative xy? Negative x squared y. Negative x squared y. So now you've got x cubed minus x squared y. What is x times positive y squared? It's going to be x y squared. Now you must be having three terms in your expression. X cubed minus x squared y plus xy squared. We've distributed the x. Let's go to the plus y. What is y times x squared? It's plus x squared y. Remember, I'm putting this thing alphabetically. I can say y x squared is still fine, but x comes before y. So it's x squared y. What is y times negative xy? Is negative xy squared. Negative xy squared. Write it down. And then the last one, y times y squared. What do you have? Y cubed. Y cubed. And then you should have something like this. Something like this. You see this? Okay. Do we have any like terms here? Yes, we have. Negative minus x squared y plus x squared y. What do we get? Minus x squared y plus x squared y, or negative x squared y plus x squared y. 0. Disappears. Plus xy squared minus xy squared. What do you get? 0. Disappears. What do you remain with? X cubed plus y cubed. What can you say about this? Is it the difference of two cubes or the sum of two cubes? It is the sum of two cubes. So if you factorize the sum of two cubes, we are going this way. These are the factors of the sum of two cubes. Remember that. Okay? Right. I want to give you the steps now. Please pay attention. I'm going to give you the steps. What do you do? Right. First bracket, cube root each term and keep the same sign. Right. We have the sum of two cubes here. It's the first time maybe you're seeing this. Maybe difficult, but please pay attention. Step by step. Follow my steps. So we have the first bracket, which is this. We have the second bracket, which is this. How do we create our first bracket, grade 10s? Cube root each term. What is the cube root of x cubed? It is x, remember. What is the cube root of y cubed? It is y. So you maintain the sign. You see there's a plus here. So there's a plus here. Do you see that? So what is the cube root of x cubed? X. Maintain the sign. The cube root of y cubed, the second term, y. That's your first bracket. Second bracket, now I'm talking about these terms now. There's the first term, which is x, and second term, which is y. Second bracket, square x. Square the first term. I said this one is first term, this one is second term. Square the first term. So it's going to be x squared. Okay? It's going to be x squared. And then change the sign. Here the sign is plus. So here it's going to be negative. You change the sign, it becomes negative. Okay? Right. You see that? And then after that, multiply these two, x times y. I'm going to give you a diagram after this. A nice one so that you can copy it. Right. Multiply x and y. You're getting xy. You see that? And then this sign, grade 10s, is always positive. Doesn't change. Okay? You write it down. Don't write now. You're listening to me. I'll tell you to write. Now, don't write anything now. Listen to me now. Okay? You can't multitask. You can't multitask. Okay? Listen to me now. And then I'll tell you when to write. Right. Okay? This last term here, you square it to get this one. Okay? Let's do this process once again. I know. I expected that. So that people are saying slow down is fine. Now, I'm going to redo this step now, step by step again. Okay? Then after that, I'm going to give you time to what? To write it down. Okay? Listen now. Then after that, I'm going to give you time to write it down. Right. This is what we have. What did I say? Let's create the first bracket. What do we do? Anyone who remembers? We said find the cube root of the first term. In this case, find the cube root of x. That's what goes into your first bracket. What's the next step? Please don't write now. Don't write. Listen. Just listen to me. You write and listen at the same time, you won't manage. Right. What's the next step? Maintain the sign. It's positive. Maintain the sign. Same sign. Okay? Third step. What is the cube root of y cubed? Is y. Find the cube root of y cubed. Then you have created your first bracket. Let's go to the second bracket now. Okay? What do we do to x? Square your x. Okay? Square your x. What do you get? X squared. And then what do we do after that? Change the sign. The sign is plus. So it becomes what? Negative now. Change the sign, it becomes negative. Remember I said now this one does not involve thinking. It involves what? Remembering the steps. Change the sign. Now it's opposite. If it's plus, becomes minus. If it's minus, becomes plus. And then what do you do here? Okay? Multiply this and that. So it's x times y, which is xy. You see that? Okay? And then, what did I say about this sign? It does not change. Remains the same. It's always positive. Right? And then the last part. You square your y, your last term here. There are two terms, first term and second term. You square your second term, which is y squared. I'm not sure if this one is clear here. It should be square y. Then that is the part, that part. Now, I want you to use about 1 minute to copy this. This is the sum of two cubes. Again, we're going to do the same process for the difference of two cubes. Okay, for the difference of two cubes. 1 minute, copy this. Just copy this diagram, not this step. Just this part. Just copy this part for 1 minute. Let's do that. Welcome back, returns. Right. Let's go to the difference of two cubes. It's basically the same as the sum of two cubes. Okay? Right. So I won't spend much on these points. I'll go straight to this diagram, a diagram like this, okay? So that we understand, okay? So it's like revisiting what we have been talking about, okay? Right, let's try. Again, just put your pens aside and you listen to me, okay? Right, now, if we expand this, what do we get? Remember, we're sort of investigating, okay? We expand like this, yes? We collect our like terms, this and this, and then this and this. They give us 0, these ones. We just remain with this and that. You see that? Okay. Now we get the difference of two cubes. So if you factorize difference of two cubes, you are going to get something like this. Then how? Let's go back to our diagram. Okay? Let's go back to our diagram. Right, this is difference of two cubes. Okay? What did I say? I say the first bracket, what do? Cube root x. Okay? You write it down in the bracket, the first bracket. The first bracket, there are 2 terms inside. And then the second bracket, there will be 3 terms. Okay? Right. Now, what's the next step? The sign, what do? Do we maintain the sign? For the first bracket, it is minus here. Yes, maintain the sign. Right. After maintaining the sign, what do? Cube root your second term, which is what? Which is y cubed. It's y there. You see that? That is your first bracket. Done with the first bracket. Okay? Let's go to the second bracket now. What do? We're referring to this as our first term. This one is our second term. Right? Square your first term. In this case, which is what? Which is x. Square x. Right? What happens to the sign? Is it same sign or opposite? It's opposite. Okay? So the signs, when it comes, there are 3 of them. First bracket, same, opposite, always positive. Just that order. Same as this. Then opposite, then always positive. Just remember, for the sign, just remember that. And then the sign is positive, is opposite. So it was negative here, so it's going to be positive there. You see that? And then what about the middle term here? We multiply our 2 terms, x times y. Please don't confuse with the square binomials where there's 2xy. This one is just x times y. So it becomes xy there, the product of x and y. And then sign, always positive. Whether it's difference of 2 cubes or sum of 2 cubes, always positive. And then you square your second term, in this case, which is y. You square your y. Done. Okay? Right, this is the difference of 2 cubes. So the process is just the same. It's only that the signs now are the ones that change. Again, I'm going to give you 1 minute to copy this. And then after that 1 minute, we go straight to the example and the activities. Okay? Right, let's try. Right, welcome back, great tense. I hope you managed to copy this this part. Remember, we're just copying this part. I really hope you managed to copy great tense. That's mathematics. May be challenging sometimes, but we are mathematicians. So just have that confidence. After this, you revisit this. You can't learn something once. You can't, after this, you close your books and then, no, you can't do that. Revisit this on your own. Try to see if you understand it. Okay? Right. I'm going to be answering questions. I have WhatsApp questions here from Pamrich. Thank you very much for the questions from Panejo. I talked about that, and then I'm going to answer those questions at the end. Right. Let's move on. So we go to the examples. I'll try to explain everything so that I can go to the WhatsApp questions. Right. Now, okay, let me try to answer some of the questions on WhatsApp using these examples. Right. From Pamrich, we had a question like 9x squared minus 1. And then I'd written this as, I can write this as 3x squared minus 1 squared. And then the question is, where is this exponent 2 coming from? Right, we can change number formats to solve mathematical problems. Right, 1 squared and 1 is one thing. Okay, 1 squared is a square number because here we're talking about the difference of two squares. So can you write 1 as a square? Yes, we can. 1 is equals to 1 squared. Can you write 4 as a power? Yes, we can. It is 2 squared. Can you write 9 as a power? Yes, we can. It is 3 squared. So can you write 1 as a power? Yes, we can. It is 1 squared. Okay? Right. So that's where the square is coming from. So like here again, the 8. Can you write 8 as 2 cubed? Yes, we can, because 8 is a cube number. Okay? So 8 is equal to 2 cubed. Okay? That's where the 3 is coming from, because 8 is a cube number. And then we can write it as 2 cubed. Okay? Right. That part I think is answered. So now, this is this difference of 2 cubes, because 8 is a cubic number. So now, and then find the cubes like that, and then we have x and 2. So our first bracket, what are we going to have, grade 10s? Is it going to be x minus 2 or x plus 2? X minus 2, because the first bracket we maintain the sign. We maintain the sign. So it's going to be x minus 2. And then what do we do to x? We square it. You see that? What do we do to the sign? We change it from negative to positive. Okay, what we do? We multiply 2 times x, which is 2x. And then the sign is always positive. And then the last part, we square the 2. What is 2 squared? Is 4. Okay? All right. 30 seconds. I'm not going to go anywhere. 30 seconds, just copy this. Just copy this for 30 seconds, or try to digest. Try to see if you understand that. Just for 30 seconds. I'm not going to go anywhere. Right, welcome back. I really hope you managed grade 10s. You really hope you managed. Né? Okay, let's try the other one. I have the activities here. Okay. Right. Because of time, let me just explain them. Is it fine with you? Can I just explain them? But if you want, you can write these 3. Let me give you 30 seconds again to write these 3 questions. Just write them in 30 seconds again. I'm not going to go anywhere. And then just write the questions only. And then after that, I'm going to explain them. After 30 seconds, then I will what? I'll explain them. Okay? And then you just write them as your notes. Then after the lesson, you just try to go through them. Let's do that. Just 30 seconds. Okay, well done. Right, I want us to do this together right now because I want you to do this with me. Okay, try to multitask now. Okay, you can write what I'm going to be giving you, and then at the same time what you are listening and writing at the same time, so that we move. I'll use my pen now so that we try to move together, because otherwise if I use animation I'll be faster. Right, now let's create our first bracket. Right, m cubed minus 27. Right, is 27 a cubic number? Yes, it's 3 cubed. 3 cubed. So the cube root of 27 is 3. So it means our first bracket, we're going to have the cube root of m cubed, which is 3. Right, 3. Do we maintain the sign? Yes, it's minus. And then what's the cube root of 27? Is 3. What did I write here? I wrote 3. No. Cube root of m is m. You see? I'm working under pressure now. M, sorry for that. And then what is the cube root of 27? Is 3. 3, you write 3 there. Okay? That's our first bracket. Do you see that? Second bracket, what is m squared? Is m squared. Now, what do we do? Do we maintain the sign? No. We have to change it. It's plus. Then, next step, what do we do? We multiply these two. 3 times m is going to be 3m. Right. The next sign, the third sign, do we maintain the sign? No. This third sign is always positive. So, it's always positive. The last step, what do we do? We find the square of this second term 3. So, we say 3 squared, which is 9. Done. You have factorized. Just follow those steps, you're done. Okay, so now your answer was supposed to look like that. Okay, let me go back. Okay, I hope you're writing as I was explaining. Let's try to do that so that we move faster. We do all 3. Okay, and then this one is 8x cubed a cubic number? Yes, because 8 is what? Is 2 cubed. So it's going to be 2 cubed. Let me just do it here. 2 cubed. So it's going to be, the first bracket is going to be 2x, because 8x cubed is going to be 2 cubed x cubed, or 2x then cubed. Okay, can be like this. Let me write it here. That is 8x cubed. You see that? Okay, so it's going to be 2x is 27. Sign. Do we maintain the sign? Yes, plus 27y cubed. What will be the cube root of that? It's going to be 3y. 3y. Okay, 3y. Right, first bracket done. Second bracket, we square this. What is square? 2x squared is going to be 4x squared. 4x squared. You square the 2, you square the x. So it's 4x squared. Do you maintain the sign? No, the sign changes. Next step, what do we do? We multiply these two terms. 2x times 3y, 6xy. Next sign, what do we do? Always positive. The last part, what do we do? We square the last term, the second term, 3y here, is going to be 9y squared. Done. You've factorized. You see how easy it is? Okay? And then your answer was supposed to look like this. I think sometimes this animation makes things look difficult. These things are very, very easy. These things are very, very easy, grade 10s. Okay? Right, let's do the last part. What do you think we must do here? Do you see any common factor here? Yes, common factor. Common factor is there. What is it? It's 4. So we factor it out. It becomes x cubed plus y cubed. Now things look very, very easy when it's like this. And then we just concentrate on the in the bracket there. So it's going to be 4. And then what is this cube root of x? It's going to be x. Do we maintain the sign? Yes. In the first bracket we maintain the sign. What is the cube root of y cubed? Just say cube root of x. Cube root of x cubed is x. And then cube root of y cubed is y. That's our first bracket. Okay? Try to be ahead of me. Try to be ahead of me. Now, second bracket, what do we do? X, we square x. It's going to be x squared. What do we do to the sign? We change it. It's now negative, minus. And then next step, we multiply these two. X times y, which is xy. Just write now, so that later you can check your work. Right, x times y. And then last sign is always positive. And then y squared at the end. We square this one. Y squared. Done. You have factorized. Fully factorized. Okay? And then your answer will look like that. Okay? Right. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. I'm not going to go anywhere now because I have 3 minutes. I have to answer people here who ask questions. They need to know about some of the things here. I have to use that WhatsApp time to answer the questions. So now 30 seconds, just copy these 3 questions. And then after that, try to consult, work together, share ideas. Okay? Let's try that. 30 seconds. Well done, grade 10s. I really hope you managed to copy the questions. Okay? 27, remember, it's a cubic number. 125, what do you think? 64, is it a cubic number? Check that. Okay? 81, x cubed there minus 3y cubed there. What can you do? Okay? I don't want to give you answers there. I want you to try on your own. Okay? Right. It was a long lesson with new things that looked difficult, but I think that you will manage to understand. I really hope that you gained something. Okay, let me try to answer some of the questions. Palmrich, thanks very much for your Palmrich Secondary. Thank you very much for the question. I answered your concern there. Where was that 2 coming from? For 9x squared. Let me use the space. For 9x squared minus 1, I said that 1 is a square number and we can write it as 1 squared. There's no need sometimes to write the 1 squared one, but I just wanted you to see that we have this in this format, x squared minus y squared. Okay, you can write 1 as 1 squared. There's nothing wrong about that. Okay, and then there's 2 also. You are too fast. Yes, I think I tried to revisit things there. And then Poneko Secondary, let me answer your question. But it was about question 1.2, x squared plus 2xy plus y squared minus 4. Right, maybe the problem is the concept of square binomials. I really think that's where the problem is. Okay, right, maybe it was a new concept, but if it was a new concept, I hope that you learned about it and you are going to use it as we move further. Okay, so this reduces to, I said what? To x plus y squared. Okay, remember that x plus y squared is equals to x squared plus 2xy plus y squared. Remember, it's called square binomials. Then x minus y squared, we're finishing now in a minute, and then x squared minus 2xy plus y squared. Try to remember these two. They are called standard forms. Okay, standard forms. Okay, right, for square binomials. So this reduces to that, then becomes minus 4. And then I hope from here you can see the difference of 2 squares. Okay, right, just use the difference of 2. This is a square, this is a square. Thank you very much for your questions. I really hope that also other people benefited from this. Right, and then another question from Ponejos. Thanks very much, you contributed a lot. Let me try to squeeze it here. Is 2x squared minus 8. Even in the homework there is a question where you have to use this concept. Okay, factorization, look for the highest common factor. In this case it is 2. We can factor it out and then we get x squared minus 4. Now if you check on the in the bracket there, what do you see? Poneko Secondary, you know yourself there. Alright, you ask the question and then some people also can understand this. Read. If someone asks a question, it's not for that particular person, it's for all of us. Okay, right, you can see the difference of 2 squares there. So you're going to have x, because 4 is 2 squared, so you're going to have x minus 2, x plus 2. Okay, right, thank you very much, grade 10s. Thank you very much for engaging us and also asking questions and contributing and giving us that. Please slow down, we don't understand. I was able to repeat this. But remember also, grade 10s, you can request from sir or ma'am that say, can we just replay it? Maybe if you have spare time, then they can replay the video for you. So thanks very much. Let's meet again in our next lesson, grade 10s. I really hope that all of you are going to attend the next lesson, and we continue to learn. Remember to sanitize, to social distance, and to wear your mask and to take care of each other. Let's meet again in our next lesson. Thank you very much.